All right, you ready, man? Gotcha. So, being drafted in the 6th round. Oh, let me cut this off. Boom. So, being drafted in the 6th round, right? What was your mindset going into that camp, that first camp?
Man, I ain't gonna lie to you. It probably wasn't where it shouldn't have been, you know, because like I said, you know, I felt like, you know, I kind of had the excuse of like taking it easy because I'm in California and it's like everything is at the pace that I want to be at. And, you know, I feel like I didn't attack it the right way. I feel like if I'd have looked at it and, you know, been a little more aggressive, a little more assertive, you know, for what I wanted, you know, which was to start, I feel like I'd have got more out of it. But it came together like once camp started, because at the end of the day, you know, you compete. Because it just messed me up that we did so much non-padded stuff in the OTAs and mini camps and stuff. You know, like that's not something I ever excelled at. Like, because I just feel like it's not real. You know. But once we got in pads, you know, I balled out for my first 2 preseason games. You know, to the point where, you know, my coach brings me in before the 3rd one where we have joint practice with the Broncos and go play them in a game. And, you know, so by the time week 3 of preseason comes around, man, I'm confident as a motherfucker, you know, like when I played against Dallas and I can't remember who the first team was. Maybe, Houston was last. So I can't remember we played in the first game. Second game we played Dallas. I had a great game. Like I had a couple pancakes, all clean protection. You know, I'm riding real high at this point. Coach brings me in week 3. He's like, hey, you're gonna start. You know, you're gonna practice all week as a starter, and you know you're gonna come to the game as a starter. But that year was a year that the Broncos were turning the fuck up on defense, and you know, I was the defense of the decade that I was going against. You know, the years they went to the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, with Von Miller and all them boys. Von Miller, goddamn. Who are the corners there, man?
Oh, the corners.
I can't even remember.
I think they had Aqib Talib.
Yeah, Aqib Talib, goddamn Chris Harris. Yeah.
I think they didn't have Hittner, but they had Danny Trevathan at linebacker. They had Malik Jackson, the one that signed with the Jaguars.
That boy was nice.
Yeah, it was his fucking contract year too. So if you know anything about that, that's a motherfucker's turn up.
Thanks.
Garrett Wolf was out there, big ass white boy. And I ain't gonna lie to you, like I said, like Jackson was turning the fuck up, right? So this is day 2 of practice. And by the end of day 2, I haven't gotten a hand on this motherfucker. Like, this motherfucker's doing whatever he wants to in practice. Against me, that motherfucker's able to do whatever the fuck he wanted. Like, whatever move he wanted to work, it was gonna work. Like, I couldn't get a hand on this motherfucker. And that shit literally brought my confidence down to 0. I'm like, man, I have never been schooled like this. Like, literally every time I put a hand up, boom, it's going down. Like, if I don't put my hand up fast enough, like, whatever it is, like, any little details that I missed out on, man, it got amplified like a motherfucker those couple of days because he was just on top of every fucking thing. So fast forward to the game, you know, I'm the only rookie in the lineup, you know, starting lineup. And, man, my center was a hating ass motherfucker, plain and simple. He was a bitch. We're playing Denver, and if you ever seen Denver, like, when they're actually fucking good, man, that stadium gets pretty fucking loud. Like, no bullshit. So we're going down, you know, we're in the first drive, and, you know, everything's dependent on the center quarterback's call, right? Quarterback's back there making calls loud as hell. I hear him just fine. Center, he makes a call. He's like, Ricky. I said, what? Said what? So I have no idea what the fuck is going on half the game because this motherfucker's over here whispering. Obviously, like I said, you know, I could have prepared better, understood what was going on, but between, you know, this being my first start, even though it's preseason, I'm seeing this motherfucker that just whooped my ass 2 days in a row in practice. It brought my confidence down to 0. And, you know, just being my first, like, you know, real, like, it's preseason, but it's my first, you know, real opportunity to play against some dudes. So you know, kind of shit the bed a little bit, didn't have a good game, but, you know, I think some help would, help ease my mind, bring my confidence up a little bit more. But having zero help from my center that game, like not knowing what's going on, my head spinning, dealing with all this shit, yeah, it was real fucking ugly. I can't lie to you. So I got put out the starting lineup the next week. Like, yeah, it was bad. And, at that point, like I said, my confidence is just steadily, down on the fucking ground. Barely make the team. I only really make the team because another player, another O-lineman had a terrible game. He let up like 2 or 3 sacks in the last preseason game. And luckily I played, all right in that one, so I feel like if that guy didn't fuck up, my journey would have been a little bit different. But, just like with football, most people that make it to the league, there's a little bit of luck involved. And, that was a situation where there's some luck involved for sure. But the NFL's a different beast, man. It's like, you could have a bad couple reps in college and for the most part, you'll figure it out. You have a bad couple reps in the NFL, it's like, man, you got to be a mental fucking giant for real because that shit can eat at you if you don't, like if you're young and, like I said, if your confidence is down to zero because you got your ass whooped that week. But yeah, it started off a little rough, but not the worst.